This is a true story, a small story yet touching, about maternal love and simple kindness. In a narrow alley, there was a humble noodle shop run by an elderly Asian couple. On that New Year's Eve, while the streets resounded with firecrackers and most families gathered around warm dinner tables, the door of the shop suddenly opened. A Vietnamese mother, about 30 years old, slender in figure, entered with her two sons, around 7 or 8 years old. The three of them sat down at a small table by the window. The mother flipped through the menu for a long time, her eyes showing a hint of hesitation, then softly called out, "1 bowl of noodles, $10. The shop owner glanced over, frowned slightly, and whispered to her husband, "3 people, but only order 1 bowl." The husband gently shook his head. With just one look, he understood immediately. This was not stinginess, but hardship. Quietly, he went into the kitchen, personally cooked a fuller-than-usual bowl of noodles, added more meat, added more noodles, and when he placed it on the table, he smiled kindly. "Happy New Year." The mother set the bowl of noodles in front of her two sons. The boys ate very slowly, eating while giving way to each other. One of them looked up slightly, his innocent eyes asking, "Aren't you hungry, Mom?" The mother smiled, her eyes gentle, yet concealing much endurance. "I'm full. You two eat. This is the dish you love the most." The three of them left the shop afterward, bowing their heads in gratitude. They disappeared into the night, leaving behind the elderly couple standing silently, their hearts suddenly sinking. The following year, at the very moment of New Year's Eve, the mother and her two children once again stepped into the shop, sat at the same familiar table, and ordered 1 bowl of noodles. This time, there was no complaint. The elderly couple simply looked at each other, then quietly prepared a fuller bowl of noodles. By the 3rd year, when the price of noodles had risen and the shop was about to close, the mother and her two children appeared once more. The mother smiled, her voice still gentle. "Does your shop still sell a bowl of noodles for $10? The elderly couple looked at each other, then the husband nodded. "Still the same." They heard the mother tell her two children. Her husband had died in an accident, leaving behind a large debt. Over the past years, she had worked several jobs at once to pay off the debt and raise her two children for their schooling. In the kitchen, the elderly couple stood frozen, tears silently falling into the pot of broth that was boiling. Not long after, the two boys studied very well, achieved many accomplishments, and were interviewed by the local press. In the newspapers, they spoke about their difficult childhood, about their mother's quiet sacrifices, and did not forget to mention the little noodle shop, the place that had once given them the warmest bowls of noodles during their poorest days. The story spread, turning the noodle shop into a special destination every New Year's Eve. People came not only to eat, but to feel the flavor of family affection, and everyone called those 3 mother and children the lucky guests of the shop. And that familiar table, from then on, was always left empty, reserved for the 3 of them of years past, even though they never returned. Until one New Year's Eve many years later, the elderly couple were preparing to close the shop. The shop was quiet, and they sighed, their hearts tinged with sadness because that table had been empty for so long. Suddenly, from behind, a voice arose. "Shopkeepers, do you still have noodles for $10 here?" The couple froze, turning their heads. In front of them was a mother now grown older, but her gentle smile remained unchanged. Beside her stood 2 tall, courteous young men. Yet those bright, kind eyes were ones the couple could never mistake. That night, the 5 of them sat together, eating noodles and conversing like family reunited after a long time. There was no longer any distance between customer and owner, only love, gratitude, and kindness extending from the past into the present. The New Year's Eve bowl of noodles, a simple dish, from then on became a symbol of hope, of human compassion, and of the quiet miracles in life. The meaning drawn from the story. The story of a New Year's Eve bowl of noodles is not only about a meal, but also a symbol of sharing, of unspoken love, and of simple kindness between human beings. The mother educated her 2 sons through her silent sacrifices. The 2 young men responded with their efforts that did not betray their mother and their late father. while the shopkeeping couple gave without expecting anything in return. In the most difficult moments, sometimes just a small gesture, a fuller bowl of noodles, a gentle smile, or a warm word is enough to warm an entire life. And it is precisely those seemingly small things that hold the power to spread, to connect human hearts, and thus become a story that lives on through the years. For love and compassion never disappear. They simply pass from one person to another, from one generation to the next, and become the flame that shines in the cold winter night of life.